America's largest abortion provider, Planned Parenthood, is now under federal investigation by the Department of Justice for selling fetal body parts. Allegations against the group first surfaced when the Center for Medical Progress, that's an anti-abortion organization, published footage of Planned Parenthood employees discussing the trade in fetal body parts, and it was nauseating. If this is the first time I've ever heard of this story, it could be because the rest of the press is not interested in covering it, so they don't. We spoke to David Daleiden, who leads the Center for Medical Progress, on this subject. David, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Tucker, great to be on.
What exactly is the DOJ looking into? What are the allegations?
Sure. So the DOJ is just doing their job and doing exactly what they should be doing, which is following up on two very good, comprehensive investigations that were done by the Senate Judiciary Committee and by the House Select Investigative Panel into Planned Parenthood's participation in the harvesting and sale of aborted baby body parts with multiple for-profit companies that they were engaged with for about 5 years and sometimes even longer.
So Planned Parenthood was involved in the sale of human parts. That's illegal. We've known this for a long time, and yet, as far as I know, the only people to face legal consequences so far have been members of your group, which brought this to light. Is that correct?
So far, Planned Parenthood's political allies in California have brought a series of totally bogus charges against myself and one of my investigative colleagues. Those are being litigated in California right now. But now Planned Parenthood is going to have to face the wheels of justice themselves because the Justice Department is doing their job. They're following up on some very damning evidence, both documents and other kinds of evidence that was uncovered by the congressional investigations. And Planned Parenthood is going to have to answer very serious questions about why their medical directors are in those documents endorsing advertisements from companies like STEM Express promising a financial profit to abortion clinics when they provide body parts, why they're signing contracts that value Planned Parenthood's abortion body parts inventory at up to the millions of dollars. There's lots of very damning and incriminating evidence in those documents that now the Department of Justice is going to have access to, and Planned Parenthood is going to have to face the consequences for that under the law.
I mean, presumably you could be for Roe v. Wade and still horrified by the idea of selling baby parts. Has any prominent Democrat denounced this that you've seen?
I think that the pro-life Democrats that are out there need to speak out pretty loudly now, and those who are pro-choice and who support abortion rights need to speak out and differentiate themselves from Planned Parenthood, from the radical abortion extremists there who think that that pro-choice means any abortion, anytime, anywhere, up to 9 months, selling the body parts afterwards, using partial birth abortions to get intact, saleable body parts. Right. That's the face of Planned Parenthood today. That's funded by taxpayers of up to $500 million every year, and that needs to stop.
Committing abortion for sex selection, which they explicitly allow at their clinics. So, but I guess the question is, has any prominent Democrat denounced this? Any?
You would have to ask them. You know, I just saw my own Senator Dianne Feinstein from the state of California just issued a statement today in support of Planned Parenthood, even in the face of them facing an investigation, a federal investigation from the Department of Justice now for their years-long scheme with companies like STEM Express and Advanced Bioscience Resources and Novogenics Laboratories to harvest and sell tiny baby hearts, lungs, livers, and brains from their late-term abortions. So unfortunately, the most prominent people who are in Planned Parenthood's corner still seem to be with them, and it's really a problem because the evidence is not going to be able to be kept under wraps and to be kept covered up forever. Planned Parenthood's allies in high places like Judge Orrick, who's the federal judge in San Francisco overseeing their lawsuits over to me, he has a long history of affiliation with Planned Parenthood. He helped open and run and fund a Planned Parenthood clinic in San Francisco that's now part of the affiliate that's suing me in his courtroom. He needs to recuse himself. Well, he still hasn't done that. And he's the one that's trying to keep the remaining videotapes under wrap, which are now going to be all the more relevant in light of the federal DOJ investigation. 50 years from now, his ancestors will be ashamed, and so will Dianne Feinstein's, of what they're doing right now. And I appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you.